Hi, everyone, and welcome to Motivation Monday. Today is the third week of May, so if you're wondering if you have more time, you have plenty of time. You basically have like 2 entire full Monday through Friday weeks to get done whatever you want to get done for the month of May. So let me share my slides. I changed my computer around yesterday, so I am moving things. There we go. I can figure this out. There. All right. So everything is still work in progress. I usually have so much to report. That's why I was like, I should do a weekly for May because I have so many things to say, but I actually don't have that many things to say this month like I thought I would. Here we go. All right. Hopefully you can hear me, and let me check the comments. Hello. Oh, it's evening for you, Karen. Okay. All right. So let's get into today. All right. So it's the same workbook every Monday for all of May. It has not changed at all. So same questions every week that you want to ask yourself. And the last Monday motivation will be next Monday. And then we will roll right into Saturday where we have a new month, where we have June. I'm trying to do a new theme for June. We'll see if I have enough time to prep the slides, but I really want to do a summer reset. I guess it's like a mid-year reset, summer reset. You know how I like to think of the year in terms of semesters. So we are basically in what I would consider the spring semester. And then we're going to enter the summer semester. And then in September will be the fall. Or is it August? Like August, September. It's like the last week of August. So anyways, that is the plan. So as you know, I am a big fan of the LISA method, which I have outlined for you here. It's a little acronym. So last week we just said, we listed out all the things that I had as goals for 2024. Just as kind of like a example for you if you wanted to list out your goals as well. And then today I thought we could do a little active inspiration, which could be anything for you, right? It could be mantras, which actually don't really work for me. It could be motivational quotes. It could be just listening to a podcast, even though I find them boring, or it could be, just doing research, or talking with someone else about your goals, whatever it is that kind of lights you up and gives you inspiration to be more actively working towards your goals is something great. So this is, I know, 2 podcasts. I don't even like podcasts, and I'm very surprised I'm recommending podcasts, but my nutritionist recommended these ADHD podcasts. So I was just describing to her, what I do, and I have so many issues, but one of my biggest issues is I will eat when I'm overwhelmed. And I think it's because I find eating relaxing, comforting. It's something fun to do, right? To eat. I'm like a foodie. So for me, I was talking to her, not just about I guess it's called disordered eating now, but because I'm not anorexic or bulimic or anything. But I was telling her this isn't normal, right? I should just only eat when I'm hungry. And so she was saying it's possible. I haven't been diagnosed with it, but she thinks I might have some characteristics of ADHD. And she was describing the differences between men and women and boys and girls or whatever. And so boys are much more likely to get diagnosed with ADHD. And again, I'm not an expert, but it's because the way boys express ADHD is they're running around like a chicken all around the room. They can't sit still. They're bopping from one location to another. And that is easy to physically see and recognize as ADHD in boys. And girls, she was saying, I can't remember what the theory was, but they're a little more conformist and will mask their ADHD symptoms better than boys. And so it's harder to kind of recognize that. So that was one theory that she had on why maybe I just had never been diagnosed. But because I do struggle with overwhelm, and that she suggested these 2 podcasts on un-F your brain, and I have ADHD. Now, she did say, and it is true, the Kristen Carter one, the idea of ADHD, if you listen to the new episodes, they're totally random. Like, they have nothing to do with ADHD. But if you listen to the really old episodes, so you have to go, don't try to go on, because I tried to go on Spotify and like go through and scroll forever, and there's like 200 some episodes. It takes forever. If you just go to her website and scroll all the way down, you can see the very like first episodes, and like the 1 through 100 I think are the ones that she's saying are useful. So I know, surprise, surprise, I'm trying to listen to them. As you know, I do find podcasts boring, so I kind of like skip through until I find something interesting. But yeah, that's just one new thing I'm trying this week for active inspiration. The other thing too, I mentioned this, that I had left social media, and I was having a little bit of social media FOMO. And then I remembered, I was like checking it out, and I didn't know this, but I think everyone probably knows this now, but there's all these influencers that are like faking it, right? So they're like, I guess there's these private jet studios. I've never heard of this. I mean, I'm always looking for like studios to do a photo shoot at. But there are studios in LA where you can like rent them out, and it looks like you're on a private jet, even though you're not. I didn't even know that was a thing. So this is the private jet studio in Toronto. There's another one in LA, and I guess they're just building more and more because all these Instagrammers want to pretend like they're living this luxurious lifestyle. And I guess one influencer got called out. She had posted that she was flying on a private jet to like somewhere on vacation, and then someone saw her on a flight sitting in coach, and they like called her out and took a photo of her. Anyways, I didn't even know that was going on. And then endless, you know, I thought about this too, because I don't know if you noticed, I wear the same thing every single day. This t-shirt is from Kohl's, and it was $5.99. I actually love it. It's cotton, it's very comfy, but there are, I guess, endless clothes returns because people are trying to do that outfit of the day, and they can't like, can you really realistically afford that unless you're getting free clothes sent to you from somewhere? And I was thinking about that too, because I definitely, for photo shoots, I buy a bunch of clothes and I do return them. But those happen, I think I've had 3 photo shoots ever, whereas they're just doing it every day. So, and then the faux designer handbags, like they have these knockoffs, which I remember buying those like in Chinatown in New York back in the 90s, but you could buy Gucci and Prada. And so I guess they're like putting them out of focus. And then I didn't even know this. You can buy empty shopping bags on eBay, where I'm kind of like, I wish I had known that, because I always throw away my shopping bags from Kiehl's or Bloomingdale's or whatever. But I didn't know you could sell those on eBay, and influencers will buy them so they can do like that Clueless shot at the top where it looks like they're like shopping with a bunch of stuff. Anyways, and I guess if you go into IKEA, there are places where you can fake it like you're on vacation, like in Bali or something. So yeah, all of that stuff. And then all the dangers of like cosmetic procedures, which I didn't even know. Linda Evangelista sued Cool Sculpt because I guess something went wrong. And then people are getting these free, I guess if you're a big influencer, you'll get offers to get free cosmetic surgery or procedures done, and then, you know, share that on your channel or your Instagram or something. And so those are all ending up in botched issues. So anyways, in case you have social media FOMO, just know that your FOMO might just be someone you're looking at who's just faking it. So speedy goals. So this week I thought I'd do the E, the clean desk policy. So as you know, I'm a minimalist. So I don't really have a lot of stuff on my desk, but this setup, I know you can't see it, so I took a picture of it for you. I am looking at the camera right now in the middle between my monitors, and I did have this camera above the other monitor because I thought that would be a better view for me, but it was just so high up because of where my monitor is. It was like a big downward angle. I like the more straight on angle. I think that downward angle was really popular. I know I used it all the time when I started YouTube, but now it's just easier to have a one-on-one. So anyways, I just didn't like going back to that. So if I have something where I definitely need to look at my, monitor, then I'll just use the Logitech Brio, which sits on top instead of worrying about trying to use this fancy Sony DSLR. Also, I really love my Elgato teleprompter. It is very expensive. It's $279.99. I know there's cheaper ones out there for like $100, but It has been life changing. I finally, for the first time ever, I recorded a video using my teleprompter. I haven't done that because I'm always doing live streams, and I feel like sometimes when people, and these are usually probably more beginners, when they're using the teleprompter, you can totally tell they're reading. And now that I have like changed that, I feel like you can't really tell that I'm reading. Anyways, that's what's going on with that. And there's an extra workbook, the Speedy Goals workbook, that is free. If there's not one in the link below, I'll add it. If you're in Planner Pixies, you already have it. It's from the January session whenever I do the annual reset for the year. So this is the time you want to ask yourself in the workbook, what is your one goal for May? Like, do you even remember it? Go through all these questions. You know, what derailed you? What tasks you need to do between now and the end of the month to make sure it gets done? And mine is still the Pretty Fabulous website migration and finishing that. And I don't really have anything to report on, so I thought I would just report out on events that I thought you should be aware of. So the first one is Canva Create. So this Thursday is supposedly the big announcement for Canva. It kicks off at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time because it's being held here in the West Coast in Los Angeles, so it won't be some crazy time, which sometimes happens when you try to attend something from someone who's in Australia. So I don't know what's going to happen. My guess is they're going to do a lot of changes with the organizational structure and layout, because we had Brenda Cadman on the video podcast, like as an interview, and she was saying that she's going to have to make a lot of changes to her courses, and she does not do any design at all. She only talks about how to organize your files, your assets, and all of that. So clearly that's something that is going to change, because she said she's going to have to re-record all that. I think they're going to be obviously do layout changes to how the structure, hopefully, because I've always complained that Canva's like just a big junkyard of who knows what, you know, the way it's set up and structured right now. It's not very, I mean, I like that it's in the cloud, but it's really hard to find stuff. So I hope that there is an announcement about Affinity and what's going to happen with it. I know a lot of people were left in limbo, so we'll just have to stay tuned. So we'll talk about that next Monday. Also, Adobe Max is having another conference. It is going to be in Miami Beach, Florida, and it's a conference focused on creativity. So the annual conference always has like updates to the software. So this will be the same thing, I suspect. So that will, or who knows? I don't know. I've never seen a creativity conference, but it's going to be in Miami. You can attend in person. It's usually like $1,500, so it's pretty expensive to attend in person. They do such a great job. Like, the nice thing about COVID is like all of their online virtual presentations have been super top-notch, like way higher quality than you could have gotten in the past. So there's really no reason to not just do virtual, and it's free for virtual. I know it's crazy. It's free for virtual, but it costs like $1,500 to go in person. So that's happening in October. And then I finally posted a video. I'm so excited. So I used the teleprompter, like I said, for the first time. You can let me know if it sounds like I was reading, but it felt nice to like have it all scripted out and be able to do it all in one take without having to like remember anything or look over to the side to notes or something. I could look like right at the camera because the words were scrolling right here. Anyways, I have more videos planned, so I'm going to do a video on how to swap your face out for AI designs, because I was looking at that for the website. And then graphic design trends that I'm seeing, because I was trying to not have an outdated website. And then, again, I really just am like, maybe I'm more fascinated by this than anyone, but why I love social media. So I thought we could talk about, I could do a video on that too, because I feel like a lot of people have been thinking about it, not just me. And yeah, and I'm going to go back to once a week videos. No matter what it is, I'm going to push something out there. So that is my new schedule, because I know I haven't been doing that for a lot. So the iPad mini, which I kept going on and on about how much I love this. This has reduced my screen time on the phone, which honestly, I looked at it. I don't really have a screen time issue with using my phone. So I looked at it. So since I got the iPad, this is all without the iPad, my screen time has gone down 36%. I mostly just use my phone for talking to Molly. So we walk 3 times a week, about an hour each. Clearly we walked a little less last week, and we just FaceTime the whole time while we walk. And so that took up obviously the majority of my time on the phone each week. And so Chrome is an issue. I do waste a lot of time looking up celebrity gossip. I know. It's like, I'm so embarrassed for it. I don't get People magazine. I don't get the tabloids. I read those at the grocery store. And I think, like, anytime I watch a show, I'm like, oh, I wonder what their net worth is. I wonder how tall they were. Are they married? Do they have kids? I don't know why I need to know this. I do not need to know this at all. But for some reason, I just like looking it up. So I know. I'm weird. So I really wasn't committed at all this week to my goal. I was finishing up stuff on the Lisa Seifert website still. And I did discover, like, when I was talking to I know I'm getting all this like organizational advice from my nutritionist. She suggested time blocking. And I said I didn't like doing that. And I've talked about this in the past because it fails. And then I feel like a lot of pressure because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. But she said to just keep trying. And actually, today's the first day I've tried it. So this is my time block right now, what you see in Google Calendar. So I have, Google Calendar has a bunch of different calendars. I can do a video on this too. But I have a video on just time blocking. So I added in tasks like I breakfast. I went to the gym this morning at 6:30. I took Lucky to the vet. That's why I had to move today's thing to later. Hair and makeup for the live stream. The Motivation Monday is happening right now. I have an interview right after this. I'm going to walk again and do the FaceTime and then script YouTube. So I'm trying to organize my to-do list this way. I do kind of know how long things will take. So we'll see. I'll let you know how this goes next week. I'll report back next week. And then this is asking you, what does your week look like? And I think if you try time blocking, which again, I've never been a fan of, but I am going to try this week, it might work for you. And then those are the tools I use. So nothing's changed since last week. Same thing with the hopeful on the goals. And that's pretty much it. And I did forget to change the quote of the week. So let me know if you're having a great week. Hopefully you have a great week and you have a lot of cool things planned. Let's see. Karen's here. Karen, I can feel the weight gain already. Aw. Yeah. I suffer from eating too much too. Jet Studio. Yeah, isn't that funny? I had no idea that there were these fake private jet studios. But yeah, I guess that's that. I think that's just what happens when you spend too much time on social media. So, all right. Hopefully everyone's having a great, fabulous week. I'm going to run to my next meeting, which is another live stream, and I might see you over there. That's going to be on the Lisa Seifert channel. All right. Bye, everyone.